Reds, Cavaliers, and Blue Jackets.
On just a lovely Sunday evening in the city of Cleveland, we welcome you to Cavaliers basketball on FanDuel Sports Network, presented by Hyundai. Storylines abound tonight as the Cavs host the Clippers of LA. Well, Friday night, point guard Darius Garland returned to the Cavalier lineup from a nagging toe injury, and boy, he got the Cavs jump-started with 18 first-half points as the Cavs mowed down the Pacers. Now, there's another notable point guard or two in the building this evening, and this one just yesterday announced that this season, his 21st in the NBA will be his last, as Chris Paul, the first ballot Hall of Famer, makes his final appearance in Cleveland tonight. Hi everyone, John Michael alongside Brad Doherty. Man, with the announcement of the Chris Paul retirement, all of a sudden we have storylines all over the place tonight. Let's start with this one. This ball game features two of the most dynamic scorers in our game today. Donovan Mitchell has been nothing short of brilliant this season, while James Harden just yesterday in Charlotte set a Clipper record with 55 big points, as the play of that duo is our Toyota key to the game.
Yeah, if you're a basketball fan, this is must-see TV. Donovan Mitchell, James Harden, these are two of the most explosive scorers this league has ever seen. James Harden is absolutely tremendous. Dribble, drive, he penetrates, he does it all, but Donovan is equally just as efficient. Both of these guys are tasked with getting their teammates the basketball because they both handle the ball so much, so they're looking for those assists. But at the end of the day, it comes down to these guys creating space, creating opportunity. They're dynamic ball handlers, so they always get their shots. Who can outshoot who? It's going to be a gunfight here in Cleveland tonight between these two.
Now, Harden is far from the only weapon in the arsenal. For those who might be wondering why the Clippers' won-loss record isn't much to write home about, well, a big reason is that they've gone 2-8 over their last 10 without this guy in the lineup. As tonight, six-time All-Star Kawhi Leonard returns from an ankle injury.
He's absolutely remarkable. He comes back after these stints and he fits right in. He is so versatile on both ends of the floor. He's an all-league defender, all-league scorer. He brings so much to this team, including a tremendous amount of leadership. He is a matchup nightmare, and he will loom large in this matchup tonight.
Coming up, Sunday night NBA basketball here inside Rocket Arena, as it's now about that time. Sit back, crack open your favorite beverage, and settle on in. It's the Cavs and the Clippers, and it's straight ahead. On FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers and by Calvetta Brothers Floor Show. It's time to fall in love again with your home. Cavaliers and Clippers, starting lineups and the tip-off, all of it is next. Here inside the concourse at Rocket Arena as tip-off between the Cavaliers and the Clippers is only moments away. Cavaliers complete a 6-game homestand. They also kick off a back-to-back that culminates in Toronto tomorrow night. And with that, come on down to the floor for the player introductions.
Cavaliers! First, we have the guards. He's from Vanderbilt, number 10, Darius Garland. The other guard, he's from Louisville, number 45, Spider, Donovan Mitchell. Now we have the forward. First, he's from California, number 20, Jalen Tyson. The other forward, he's from Virginia, number 12, DeAndre Hunter. And he's starting at center, he's from USC, number 4, Evan Mobley. Your Cavaliers are led by head coach Kenny Atkinson. Cavalier fans, it's time to let them know. Everybody, make some noise for your Cleveland Cavaliers.
Kenny Atkinson spent the season as an assistant on the LA Clipper bench under Tyronn Lue. As we mentioned, this is the start of a back-to-back for the Cavs. It will continue in Toronto tomorrow night as Kenny's Cavaliers are 11-6. Here are the starters for the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard has not played since November 3rd. He played the first 6 games, missed the last 10 with an ankle injury. He is back, and James Harden is coming off a record-setting performance. He had 55 just yesterday in Charlotte in a victory over the Hornets. There's Tyronn Lue, the head coach of the Cavs for parts of 4 seasons, including the 15-16 campaign that brought a title right here to Cleveland. Tyronn now is in his 6th season already as the head coach of what has been a banged-up Clipper team. They check in with a mark of 5-11. With that, let's introduce the third member of our team. It is, of course, Serena Winters. Hi, Serena.
Hey, John. Well, there is certainly a lot to deal with today with Kawhi Leonard's return and James Harden playing at an absolutely elite level. But there is another matchup to watch tonight, and that is Ivica Zubac. He averaged 21 points per game against the Cavs last season and almost 17 rebounds a game. Without Jared Allen, Evan Mobley will put those reigning Defensive Player of the Year accolades to good use tonight. And look, rebounding has been one of those pain points for this Cavaliers team all season. So once again, Kenny Atkinson says this is a big priority for his wine and gold tonight, guys.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Serena. This is a big, big matchup for the Cavaliers. We've struggled a little bit on those defensive backboards, and it's an emphasis. Zubac has been great at staying home and really manning the backboard. He's a big, strong guy. He's hard to displace, so Evan's going to have to use his athleticism, get some help from his teammates, Hunter, and I like Tyson being back in that lineup. He's probably our most aggressive player. He will get some rebounds and help out.
Serena alluded to last season in LA. Zubac went for 28 points and 20 big rebounds in the matchup against the Cavs, with 8 coming on the offensive glass as Mobley wins the tip, and we are underway. John Michael, Brad Doherty, and Serena Winters as we have an early clock adjustment. Here's Andy Nagy. He's our referee in season number 6, the Toledo native. Jonathan Sterling is our umpire in season 9, and the crew chief is Bill Kennedy, the 28-year veteran. Game 6 of 6 on this Cavalier homestand. As here comes Darius Garland. Garland returned to action on Friday night after missing 5 games. Is Hunter halfway down the alley. Sprays one off to Tyson. Tyson for 3. And short and rebounded by Kawhi Leonard. Tyson also returned on Friday after missing 5 games with a concussion. So here is Harden, fresh off a franchise record 55 points into the low post it goes. Zubac is down there with Mobley. This is what Serena previewed as Zubac draws first blood.
Yeah, even with Evan being such a tremendous defender, Zubac so big and strong, uses those jump hooks very well. Might have to get a little bit of help coming at him just to get that basketball out of his hand.
Mobley's 3 is short. Zubac last season was the runner-up for the Most Improved Player Award, which went to Dyson Daniels in Atlanta. Here's that jump hook over Mobley.
That's a beautiful jump hook. Talk about it all the time. I'm going to say it again. Evan Mobley. Take note, young man. Start shooting those jump hooks. You'd be unstoppable.
Harden from the mid-range is fouled by Tyson. He knocks down his first shot, and James Harden has a chance for the three-point play.
Yeah, James Harden's so great at getting you and drawing you back into him for a foul, and you have to be really smart. Keep your hands to yourself when you are around James Harden, and also give him, which is crazy to say, you got to give him a little bit of space. He's just impossible to guard, like our Donovan Mitchell. These guys have that basketball in their hands, and when you guard them well, they can go to another spot. So you're not going to stop them. You just want to contain them to a certain degree.
The Charlotte Hornets certainly could not contain James Harden just yesterday. He went for 27 big points in the first quarter in breaking that Clipper record. Mobley on the hop, in towards Zubac, pivots a number of times, deals back to Garland. Garland explodes past Kawhi Leonard, sprays off to Mitchell, who got Harden in the air, and cans a 3.
Case in point, case in point. Both of these guys, Harden and Mitchell, 2 of the most explosive scorers in our league. And you just got to try to stay in front of them the best of your ability. You cannot stop them, but you absolutely want to make it difficult, and you don't want to get fouls called on yourself because that takes you even further out of the game.
Kawhi Leonard with those big hands hauled in that pass underneath as Mobley runs over one of the Clippers, and it's an offensive foul as it was John Collins who took the blow.
Evan's waiting on the contact. You know, you catch that basketball, instead of trying to wait on that contact, turn, make that move, turn to the defender and go around and over, unless it's that big Zubac coming at you. Then you can turn and face him.
But Zubats is a big hombre. He has those huge shoulders. 7 feet tall. He's listed at 240 with listed being the operative
his right
word.
his right leg is 240. He's a big dude, and he's done a great job of getting himself in tremendous shape to be a big guy. He's earned every bit of what he's gotten on this basketball team.
One of those players who's gotten better each and every season. As he shot puts that up, missed it. The offensive rebound is grabbed by Zubats, but that doesn't go either. As here comes Garland. Garland on a dead run. Finds Hunter. Hunter for 3.
Wow, what a play by Darius Garland. That is a sight for sore eyes. Seeing DG just absolutely take it right down the heart of that lane, make all that defense have to collapse to that dribble drive and wide open jump shot.
Ryan Dunn has already checked in for Kawhi Leonard. Again, Kawhi missed the last 10 games with an ankle injury, and he didn't last 3 minutes. He has gone to the back as here's Hunter. Hunter gets a drive in on Collins. Collins stripped him. An outlet pass finds Chris Dunn. Dunn in toward Mitchell. Has to bounce off to Harden. Harden collects and scores.
One of the most remarkable things I've ever seen in this league is Kawhi Leonard, who will miss 8, 10, 12, 15 games and come back and just play like he's not missed a beat.
Donovan Mitchell with the shooter's touch. He trims the early Clipper lead to 9-8.
Talking about Donovan, want to see him continue to be even more aggressive with that basketball. The Cavaliers need him every night to be that guy. That guy, if he can go out and score 50, and I've said it a bunch of times, that's what he needs to do, let all the other pieces fill in around him.
Kobe Sanders, the rookie out of Nevada, can't find the range. Donovan Mitchell, in and out it goes. Zubats gobbles up another rebound. Harden plays at his own pace. A lob to Collins. Collins elevates and scores. A mid-range jumper by John Collins, who played his last couple of seasons in Utah, gives the Clippers this 3-point edge. Garland sizes up Collins. Collins looks around. Nobody's behind you there.
Deep water.
Garland
This is not a good spot.
lost the handle. Tyson hits the deck. Mitchell tries to recollect. The shot clock's all the way down to 2. The Cavs have to hurry. Donovan knows it from half court. And it's a shot clock violation.
Pretty good defense right there by the Clippers. Put the Cavaliers in scramble mode. DG just kind of lost that handle. I think he was so excited. I mean, it's like a wolf when he sees a, you know, got to be careful here, but it's like a wolf seeing a snake laying out there with Collins. He's like, start salivating, baby. It's on, and got away from him. Got to be a little patient sometimes, John.
So Kawhi has come back to the relief of Clipper fans.
It's unbelievable. I mean, he'll come back. He's in shape. I mean, if I miss 5 games as a player, it'd be impossible. He misses 15 games and he comes back and plays like it's no big deal.
Harden throws one away. Hunter can't capitalize. Long lead pass. Harden, a 50-footer, finds Dunn underneath.
Yeah, that's not acceptable to the Cavaliers. You can't give up an easy. You can't give up a layup to a guy when you have no one's on the backboard really. You got to get back, take care of that ball, and if you don't, you at least got to hustle back and make sure you stop the layup. You can't give up layups.
Chris Dunn, who last season finished 4th in the NBA in steals, picks up his first.
Nobody's back, John. Yeah, you got to get back. You can't. That's not acceptable. That ball was just got way ahead of the Cavaliers too quickly on that transition. You can't give up layups.
Harden with those 55 points yesterday broke the previous Clipper record set by Charles Smith back in 1990, 52, actually tied by Charles Smith. It was set by Bob McAdoo back in 1974 as a member of the Buffalo Braves, as Kawhi Leonard connects once again. He's hit his first 2 shots.
It's a lot of baskets. Even in today's game when there's a lot of shots, he shot 16 threes. Played pretty well. Nice job, Dean Wade, facing up. Nobody around you. Comes into that high post, you turn and face. Anytime you catch the ball on the high post as a big man in today's game, you turn and face that basket. A lot of times, it's wide open. You got to shoot that basketball. It's a free throw.
Kawhi works on Dean Wade. His pass intended for Chris Dunn ends up in the seats. The Cavs force another turnover, and now Kenny wants a timeout. Here inside Rocket Arena as we take a look at the live odds courtesy of FanDuel. You can play the Cavs right now on the money line at a -186. The over-under sits at 228.5. Cavs plus over right now parlays at a plus 201. Those are the live odds courtesy of FanDuel. Serena was back behind the Cavalier huddle at that last timeout. Serena.
Yeah, Kenny's message was simple. It was, we have to pick up the pace. Guys, the Clippers play at the 29th slowest pace in the league. So there's a reason why Kenny doesn't want them to play at their pace. He wants them to pick it up.
It also is the oldest team in the NBA. Get this, an average age of over 30.
Wow.
So they're not in a big hurry to get up and down the floor on the Clippers this season.
They're not, but they have gotten transition baskets out of this game thus far. So that's what, that upsets coach. He doesn't like that. You're giving them something too easy. Make this team work in the half court so you have an opportunity to defend and rebound the basketball.
Tyson's three doesn't go. To that end, Brad, this Clipper team is 29th in fast break points and 29th in fast break points against.
Yeah, they're going nowhere. And they give up a lot of layups. You got to attack and be aggressive, put a lot of heat on them, make them turn that basketball over, make them run.
The Cavs get called for a 3-second violation. There's big Zubats. Tyronn Lue said he is one of Tyron's favorite players, so much so he reminds him of Matt Dellavedova. That is a compliment. That is a compliment only true Cavalier fans could completely appreciate.
Matt Dellavedova was like 5'8" tall. What are you talking about?
What a big part of that run to the championship in 2016. Tyrese is in that lane a little too long, said Bill Kennedy. 16-10 is the LA lead. We have passed the midway point of the first quarter. The Cavs, by the way, do have a distinct scheduling advantage. The Clippers are playing Game 6 of a season-long 7-game road trip. They were in Charlotte just yesterday as Collins tried to throw it down, and that got tipped in either by Zubats or maybe by the Cavs' Dean Wade. As here's Garland. Garland races inside, finds Naquan Tomlin, who reverses and scores.
I love the fact that Tomlin's in there. We get a little pulse of energy. Nice drive by DG. Good finish around the rim by Tomlin.
Tomlin's in here with Tyrese Proctor, Dean Wade, Jalen Tyson, Darius Garland as Tomlin converged on Zubats. A foul is called. It's on Tyson, I believe, from behind, and indeed it is.
Defense by the Cavs challenging Collins.
Sure was Zubats.
Yep. Tomlin comes in, nice reverse layup.
Apologies to Dean Wade. That was Zubats who got his hand on it.
Yeah.
Poked it in. Zubats already has a couple of buckets, 3 rebounds, 2 on the offensive glass. Harden works on the rookie Proctor. Harden in his 17th season out of Arizona State. Banks it up and banks it in.
Boy, that's a nice move by Harden. Proctor's going to figure out. You got to force him to switch. You got to force him to rotate, go back the other way. That's the best chance you got with James Harden. If you try to stay in front of him, he's going to cross you over with that quick dribble. Get that shot off pretty quick.
Mobley draws the foul. Zubats commits the personal. Completing that thought, Zubats and the Clippers were in action just yesterday afternoon as they rolled to a 131-116 victory. Mobley with an aggressive move draws the foul on Zubats. So the Clippers are playing the tail end of a back-to-back. This road trip ends back in Southern Cal as they visit the Lakers on Tuesday as they're the road team in that ball game. But these guys haven't played a home game. The Clippers, Brad, in an eternity. This trip has gone Dallas, Boston, Philly, Orlando, Charlotte, now Cleveland, and then back to LA goes Tyronn Lue and the Clippers to finish off this trip at the Lakers.
They ought to be able to play the rest of the season at home. My goodness. Well, at least they didn't catch any snow. You always hope when those pretty boys from LA fly in here like Coach Lue. I was giving a hard time earlier. Come in here, you hope it's 10 feet of snow and freezing. Chris Paul looked like he was a Sherpa coming in here today. This big wool thing on. I was like, man, where are you going?
Kawhi Leonard's 10-footer doesn't go. Darius Garland's scoop shot does.
It's Cleveland, man. I said it's 50 degrees outside. It's like you're getting ready to climb Mount Everest. What are you doing?
It's fun catching up with Tyronn. He always reluctantly does so, but boy, he talked about that 2016 championship before this game. He has more important matters at hand right now, trying to figure out all these injuries and get back in the Western Conference race. But boy, it's good to catch up with Tyronn and just hear some of the stories about that run as Garland and Proctor collide. They both end up on the floor along with Leonard, and the ball goes over to the Clippers.
See Garland goes into the lane there. Well, they all get kind of tangled up. Good thing that, oh man, thought Proctor might have pulled a hamstring there. Hopefully he's able to get his feet out of the way.
Jazz fans don't like seeing Garland go down. Same for the Clipper fans with Kawhi, of course, as John Collins reverses. There's Zubac again. Another offensive rebound and a dunk.
Yeah, it's just power. A lot of power, a lot of strength by Zubac. He's just in there displacing people, finishing strong around the rim. Like I said, got to put body on him, got to account for him, make it difficult for him. Nice job by Evan Mobley. Same thing on the other end. Nice strong finish. Good job.
Tyronn Lue now walks onto the floor. He wants a timeout as Mobley and the Cavaliers head to the bench.
Welcome back. Cavaliers trailing by 6. Jalen Tyson has been such a positive spark to this group this season. And Kenny Atkinson said that the coaches and his teammates have been so hard on him, but in a positive way. It means they really need him. And here's what that has meant to Jalen Tyson.
It shows them that they need me, right? And that's confidence within itself, right? Last year I wasn't getting none of this, right? Nobody was on me about little details, and now they are. So it's my job to adjust and make those adjustments and go in there and help win games.
So nice to see the energy that Jalen Tyson brings back on the floor. Effusive in terms of that positivity and just the kind of young man that you like to be around, and his teammates enjoy him as well.
Yeah, he's a fantastic young man, and like I say, his aggressiveness is so needed in our rotation, and especially on that perimeter. I mean, he just gets in your face and is absolutely in your shoes step for step, and that's going to continue to be vital and critical as this team tries to build themselves and build a little bit more of a reputation as we get towards the end of the season.
Cavs, by the way, today are without Jared Allen for the second straight game as Evan Mobley got a hand on that Collins effort. Sam Merrill remains out as Wade's three is no good. Mitchell grabs the long rebound. Craig Porter has hit the injured list. We'll detail that in a moment as Donovan Mitchell winds his way into a 15-footer and trims the Clipper lead to 4.
Great job by Kenny Atkinson. That was a great reset offensively for our team. They'd gotten a little bit ragged there last couple of minutes. Good reset. You get the chalkboard out. You kind of show guys where they're supposed to be. Reset them. Had a great offensive implementation. Now defensively run this little bit of a zone. Make it a little bit more difficult to get these passes around the perimeter.
Second straight time the Cavs have gone with the zone this possession, and that's the second straight time they get a stop as Proctor grabs the long rebound. In toward Collins. He'll shovel to Wade. Wade thought about a three. Back to Proctor. Good extra pass to Mitchell. Mitchell wanted one more, and Mobley was looking toward the rim.
I want to see Donovan shoot that basketball. Donovan, I want to see him shoot that basketball. He's wide open. I'll take Donovan Mitchell wide open anytime. Tough move, good move. Then you get to this one, and he tries to be a good teammate. He sees that opening, but Mobley was looking at Lopez. He's trying to figure out how to box him out. So next time, if I'm Donovan, I say, okay, I gave you your one pass. Get on that backboard, big boy. It's going up.
He's lucky that one didn't hammer him in the temple. Here's Harden working on Dean Wade. Loves to go to left hand. Wade commits to personal.
Must have gotten him with the body. It looked like Dean Wade got a lot of basketball there. Again, with James Harden, you've got to get in front of that left hand, force him to go right. He can still score, but you've got to get way over there on that left hand. And even more importantly, his two teammates on that weak side, Evan Mobley and Donovan, they got to step over there and help. You got to stop that basketball. If he kicks it out and your guy shoots a jump shot, you live with that.
Let's take a look at our injury report. It is brought to you by Elk & Elk as Harden cans his first. Jared Allen misses his second straight game. Sam Merrill does as well. Lonzo Ball is not playing back-to-back, so the Cavs will use Ball tomorrow night in Toronto against the Raptors. Bradley Beal's been lost for the season. The Clippers were hoping that Bradley could replace the loss of Norman Powell, but Beal's gone. Jones, Miller, and Bogdanovich are on that list as well. And the ovation you hear is for this man, Chris Paul, who yesterday announced that this season would be his final one. And this summer, he returned to the team that he, in many ways, along with Blake Griffin, really played a huge role in transforming from a franchise, fair or unfair, that carried with it the reputation of never being able to shake a losing culture, to one that was fun and cool to root for, and maybe more importantly, Brad, to play for.
Yeah, I've known Chris a long, long time and speak to him a lot. And have similar friends. And the thing I know about Chris Paul is he is a winner, 100%. Great attitude, very workmanlike. He's had a Hall of Fame career. He has been just absolutely fantastic as a basketball player, and even more importantly so maybe as a young man. He has been a role model, he's been exemplary, and he deserves an ovation for having just a tremendous Hall of Fame NBA career.
Kobe Sanders got stripped by Naquan Tomlin. Mitchell's three ends up out of play, as there is Chris in season number 21 out of Wake Forest, a 12-time All-Star, an All-NBA first, second, or third teamer 10 times. He ranks second all-time in terms of NBA assists and NBA steals.
Just absolutely remarkable. I was teasing before the game tonight about, he's going to retire, and I said, I can help manage some of that money you got. I'm thinking about starting a 60-year-old league basketball, old NBA players, and I want to be the first guy paid in that league, so maybe you can put your money into that.
Harden's three is short. You could buy 5-6 race teams.
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
Yeah, I got a great business for you.
The whole field.
Yeah.
$1:10 to go in the first quarter. Mitchell baptized Sanders. He flips it up and in.
That's aggressive, Donovan Mitchell. That's what I want to see every time on that offensive end. I talk to Michael Jordan a lot about Donovan and just always try to pick his brain about Donovan Mitchell. What would make him better? And that's what Michael says. He wants to see Donovan be aggressive all the time. Be that alpha on that offensive end, and that's what you start to see more of.
James Harden played 35 minutes yesterday in Charlotte as Proctor's fouled, and Harden has missed all 5 of his three-point attempts here in this first quarter.
That is that over the top, that little Euro dribble over the top. He's got that down. Look at that. Just absolutely leaves you. And he is so powerful and quick. Really impressive.
There's the rookie Proctor. He drains his first as we pause for a word from Kia. John Michael, Brad Doherty, and Serena Winters. Closing seconds, first quarter. Clippers 24, Cavaliers 22, and what has been a low-scoring first quarter of play. The Cavs have taken only 18 shots. There's Dean Wade with a steal. Wade has his head up off to Tomlin. Naquan! Oh, my!
I love the fact that Naquan never yielded from running straight down the middle of that lane. No one stepped in front of him, and he made him pay. Great job by Tomlin.
Naquan Tomlin knows one speed.
Wide open. Wide open.
There's a 5-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Harden looks for an avenue. Rejected by Tomlin.
Naquan Tomlin. Someone dropped him out of the rafters. Great block.
Proctor. Hey, knocks it down. What a sequence.
How about number 35 bringing a little life and energy into this Cavalier basketball team. Got these fans on their feet.
Naquan Tomlin on both ends of the floor, as Tomlin is the catalyst for a 9-0 Cavalier run. Tomlin with the finish, and Tomlin with a rejection.
With Mr. Cavalier, Austin Carr, and AC, what did you see in that first quarter?
Well, what I really liked, the last 5 minutes of the quarter, they started competing in the paint. They're going to have to do that, and when you guard James Harden, you got to stay on his left side and don't let him come back to the other side.
Yeah, John, what did Kenny Atkinson say about Tomlin the other day? He is a racehorse. We're certainly seeing that out there tonight.
Another spark from Naquan Tomlin as the Cavs force another Clipper turnover. Opening second quarter. The Cavs start the second with Mobley, Mitchell, Proctor, Hunter, and Tomlin. Mobley draws a triple. Proctor's wide open, and that is the way you draw it up.
Yeah, Evan Mobley's becoming more aware. He's realizing when he turns his back, because he's so tall and long dribbling the basketball, that guard is coming. That guard is coming to steal the basketball from him. So now he's more aware of that after experiencing that earlier on in the season. Turns and makes a nice pass to the wide open Proctor.
That foul is on Hunter, away from the play. What may have been a steal 4 or 5 games ago turns into a wide open three.
That is a great observation. Yeah, that would have been turned over or stolen from Evan as he turns back. But now he's learned He knows that guard is coming as soon as he turns his back. That's going to be wide open every time because those guards, they want to get that basketball. When they see that thing being dribbled high, it's their opportunity.
Kawhi's three doesn't go, but a late foul is called. It's on Mobley, so Leonard will shoot three.
Cavs were in really good defensive position there. Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Nor
That's a bad call.
Nor does Kenny, as Kenny has taken a coach's challenge. Kenny shares a lab with crew chief Bill Kennedy. We'll check it out when we come back. Instituted by Kenny Atkinson.
Take a good. I couldn't get a good.
After reviewing the play, the defensive player
he got it right there.
does
Okay.
make contact to the forearm on the upward motion. 2 free throws will be awarded. The coach's challenge is unsuccessful.
I thought that I couldn't say it was a good call by the official. Good job. Kenny missed another one. I was right, kind of partially. I didn't have the same view.
Kenny moves to 15-2 on the season.
That doesn't go against my record.
Kenny is saying that the contact was minimal.
I agree with that.
Kawhi had a foot on the line, so it's 2 free throws here for Leonard.
Yeah, they shouldn't call that. It's so 6'7", John.
Oh, brother.
What?
Trendy Brad Doherty.
You know, I'm that. I'm in the group. My daughter will be very embarrassed, but I don't know why.
Last season, the 6'7" Kawhi did not start until game 35.
I like that. I like that.
What the team termed as knee injury recovery. He ended up appearing in 37 plus all 7 playoff games. He returns tonight if you're just joining us after missing the last 10 games with an ankle sprain. He played the first 6. This is already his 7th season in LA with the Clippers. For Kawhi after winning a title north of the border in Toronto. That's where the Cavs are headed tonight after this ball game for a meeting with the Raptors tomorrow. Boy, as Hunter got avalanched, we play on. Here's Chris Paul with his head up. He'll find the rookie Sanders. Sanders backs up. He's guarded by Donovan Mitchell. Opening minute, second quarter. Nick Batum got it.
Yeah, Batum's got that really odd shot where he catches it above his chest and shoots it quickly. You got to get to him. That's a good transition by the Clippers there. Right back at him, the Cavaliers. Nice ball movement. Good spreading of the floor. Got to do a better job if you're the Cavs. And I know Coach Atkinson really wants these guys to focus on getting the proper levels, spreading out, making sure that you have the right guys in the right position so you can execute, cut, have room to move on the offensive end.
DeAndre Hunter with the answer. Leonard's 3 is no good. A triple by Batum was the first points by a Clipper reserve. The Cavs are leading in that department 14-3. Hunter just blows by Lopez. Good pass to Tomlin. Extra pass to Proctor, who puts it on the floor. He floats and scores. Tyrese Proctor has 10 quick points off the Cavalier bench.
I like his aggressiveness, John. I think Proctor's going to be a superstar. Good explosiveness, can shoot the basketball, aggressive. Great opportunity to continue to learn for this young man. He's done a great job thus far.
He's a perfect 3 for 3. He's hit a couple of triples. Long rebound, tracked down by Proctor. Cavs by 6. 2.5 in, second quarter. Proctor slings one to Mitchell. Now it's Hunter. Guarded by the longtime Buck and Brook Lopez. Hunter wants to go to work. Leonard help, and Leonard commits the foul.
Yeah, you really got to, Cavaliers got to spread that floor out. What that does is, see, this is nice. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Look how much room there is on the court. Now the defense has to make a lot of decisions. Whatever that basketball moves, you got to go such a long way to help defensively. It really puts a burden on the defense. And again, nice balance on the court by the Cavaliers. That creates those that driving zone that you saw Proctor duck into right there. Great job.
Brook Lopez checks out. He was brought in to back up even to Zubats as Zubats returns. The Cavs trailed this ball game early by 8. Here's Sanders. Mobley's out here with Hunter, Tomlin, Mitchell, and Proctor. Kawhi Leonard. Picked up by Hunter. Zubats wants to get rid of it. Paul comes and gets it. Chris Paul chased by Proctor. Off it goes for a three by Sanders as Sanders on a two-way contract knocks down the three.
Really difficult play to guard. They're rotating off of a pick around the top of the key. And if you don't step up, they drive to the basket, but they ended up with that three, which is a tough shot. Nice job by Mobley. Straight little contact going to the basket. Get some free shots.
Proctor with the feed. How about Proctor, the rookie, going toe-to-toe with the 21-year veteran, Chris Paul.
Unbelievable. Good job. Evan not settling for the shot, going aggressively to the basket.
Mobley misses his first free throw. Let's go down to Serena, who has more on Tyrese Proctor.
Yeah, Tyrese received some high praise from his point guard, Darius Garland, this week. He said that his mind stands out, that he's always thinking about what they can get to next, and then his pace, right, how he just plays at his own speed. Darius said that Tyrese's next step is reacting to the game, right? But that takes time, and Darius said he's always in his ear, wants him to come to the gym with him, get shots up with him, said he's going to be, and I quote, super good. So big praise there from Darius.
Well, he was part of a talented club that advanced to the Final Four last season, one of 5 Blue Devils selected in the most recent draft. The Cavalier lead is 36-32. Paul is met by Donovan Mitchell. He'll play through Zubats. Zubats hands to Leonard. He's tracked by Dean Wade. Kawhi loves the mid-range game. He got stalled there at the foul line. Batum feeds the post. Zubats, baby hook, no. Wade makes a nice play to range in and grab that loose ball. Mitchell, good hesitation move right around Sanders with the left hand.
That was great defense by Dean Wade. Absolutely stayed step for step with Kawhi Leonard. That move right there by Donovan Mitchell, that was just a head and shoulder fake in transition. And he just absolutely muscled his way through that gap for a left-handed layup. Nice.
Donovan wants the loose ball out of the air. This time he blows past Chris Paul, feeds Wade. Wade with a standstill three. Whoa! Mobley over the top of Zubats as Zubats comes up with a loose ball. Kawhi stops and fires. Kawhi had 33 in LA in the meeting out in California between these teams a season ago. He hit 6 triples in the ball game. Wade's wide open again. That time he got knocked down by Batum, as that's one that Nick would like to have back.
Donovan Mitchell just absolutely made a heck of a move. Look at this little fake, head and shoulders fake. Gets those big shoulders in between. Chris Paul's been around 21 years. He knows you can't reach on that. You got to get them feet over there. Nice job by Donovan. Good job.
We have a timeout. Let's see if Tyronn Lue may use his coach's challenge here. We'll tell you about it when we come back. FanDuel Sports Network is brought to you by your Chevy Network dealers and by MGM Northfield Park, featuring world-class gaming, dining, racing, and entertainment. Find your fun at MGM Northfield Park. Cavaliers 38, Clippers 35. Tyronn Lue is having words with our crew chief, Bill Kennedy, about this. This foul call on Nick Batum was challenged.
Boy, Tyronn Lue is absolutely getting after Bill Kennedy over there. He's not happy with him. That's about as he was so animated.
Yeah.
A second ago. He's not happy with that call.
Bill Kennedy will let us know. Watch the camera presence, by the way, out of our crew chief.
After reviewing the play, the foul that was called is a foul, but it is not during the shooting motion. It would be considered a loose ball foul. Cleveland will retain possession of the ball on the side with 14 on the shot clock.
Now, I think what that means is Tyronn technically will win this, so Tyronn's going to get one more, but what he's dissatisfied about is the result. Now, watch this. It's a non-shooting foul. Wade is already down, but Batum goes and pops him with a hip.
Yep.
So it's not a shooting foul. Tyronn will win the challenge, which is important because he has one more now remaining because it's a successful challenge. Garland gets fouled and route to the hole. 7:34 to go in the second quarter. If you're a little bit newer to the game, if you win your first challenge in the NBA, you get one more. That foul is on Kawhi. The Cavs have already challenged in this first half. They have lost, so they are out of challenges the rest of the way. The Clippers have one more coming. You can score big this season, by the way, with Cavs Rewards. Create an account and start earning points to redeem exclusive rewards, including Cavs tickets, VIP experiences, and more.
Yeah, the Cavs have done a good job of getting themselves back in this position. Started the game a little bit slow. You know, I thought that the Clippers got out transition in the first quarter a little bit more than the Cavs wanted to because they're not a fast team. Cavs have adjusted and thus far played good basketball, solid basketball up to now.
Cavs gave up 14 points in the paint the first 8 minutes. Not a single one over the next 8. Zubac looks the back in, nothing doing as Nance is checked in. They're driving. Sanders is stuffed by Larry Nance.
Larry did a good job of bodying up Zubac as well. Gave Zubac nowhere to go, and Zubac wanted to turn that shoulder to the right for a little hook. Larry would not let him move to the left. Nice job.
Garland with a tough shot. Luke Travers was checked in, fresh off a stint in the NBA G League with the Cleveland Charge, which included a game-winning dunk at the buzzer for Luke. Here he D's up Leonard. Zubac hooks and scores as Zubac trims the Cavs lead to 40-37.
Yeah, Zubac is just a load. He gets into that lane. He knows where he wants to get to. He wants to jump hook you to death.
Nance's three is no good. It's rebounded by Paul. He'll outlet to Leonard.
I like that shot by Nance. You got to make Zubac come out and guard you. He's going to give it to you. You need to take it.
Boy, is that high release point. Zubac nearly grabbed his 5th offensive rebound. Garland chugs into the forecourt. His long 2 is long, rebounded by Wade, and the Cavs reset with a fresh 14. Hunter angles off a Wade screen and gets the roll.
Nice job. I want to see Dean Wade look at that basket, too. Man, that thing really took its time. Looks like one of my putts. Thinking about whether or not it wants to go in.
That one went down, though.
Yeah, my putts don't go down. They always lip out.
Paul bounces off to Leonard. Leonard got cut off. Back it goes to Paul. Ball works on Travers once more to Kawhi. He got Hunter in the air with a pump fake, and Kawhi Leonard has a chance for 3.
Well, that's a really good basketball move. Kawhi Leonard just very fundamentally sound. Catches him, faces him up, pump fakes him.
So here is Kawhi, his 14th season out of San Diego State, Defensive Player of the Year twice, Finals MVP twice.
Well, he's just been remarkable. You know, he's just, like I say, the thing has been the consistency of his play. He's missed a lot of basketball over the past several years and continues to do so, but when he does play, boy, he is a treat to watch. One of those special individuals that you buy a ticket to come watch Kawhi Leonard play.
One of only 3 players to win a Finals MVP with multiple teams. That ball ends up out of bounds. It will stay with the Cavs as Travers took a shot.
Ball comes flying off there. Ooh, he's gonna pop upside the head there.
Luke seems no worse for the wear.
No, he's an Aussie, man. He's tough.
An Australian rules football.
Man,
That
those
is
guys,
nothing.
yeah.
That's a
Kangaroos,
love tap.
box kangaroos and stuff, man. Nothing can hurt those guys. Are you kidding me?
Garland looked to squeeze between 2 of the Clippers. He'll sift one through to Wade. Shot clock down to 2. Nance,
Yeah.
got it.
Love it. Want to see Larry continue to build that confidence. He starts making those shots. Boy, those rotational opportunities when he gets in, that's going to put so much pressure on that opposing center. And I like Larry playing the 5. He's so fundamentally sound. He can guard everyone, but he plays that 5. He's a big help, and then he gets back so well, and he's strong enough to get in there and ward off the big center. So, we're confident.
Kawhi runs over Nance and gets called for an offensive foul as Larry Nance with some impact here in the second quarter. It was good to see Junior get back in the rotation 2 nights ago in the victory over the Pacers. He blocked a couple of big shots in that ball game, and he's been solid defensively off the bench here in this second.
Yeah, it's just for Larry just fitting into this basketball team. He got here and he just really wanted to understand how they play the game, trying to understand Kenny Atkinson's, you know, his terminology and all those things. I'll tell you, Larry does great things on the basketball court. He's one of the few guys, I watch him and he's running back, and he's touching guards and touching people to slow him down. He's so fundamentally sound. He's going to have a big impact on this basketball team as we go deeper into the season.
Larry has a great attitude.
Oh,
He never seems satisfied with himself.
That's right.
Always looking to be better.
That's right.
Garland works on Sanders. Feeds Wade for three. Wade knuckled that one up there as Zubac grabs the loose ball and outlets to Sanders. He'll zip one over to Dunn. Dunn cuts, and he gets fouled.
On the offensive end, I'm sorry, John. On the offensive end, you got to look for the shot quality, and that was a quality shot. Sometimes you don't make those shots, and that's okay. As long as you're getting the good looks, that means the offense is working. Dunn does a good job. He gets out in transition, running hard to the basket. Tomlin can't quite get there, but good thing they didn't give up the basket.
I was going to say, credit Travers. Even though Tomlin commits that personal, that continuation is still in play. So if you're Luke, you go and avalanche that guy, do whatever you can so that he doesn't get that shot off. And that's what Travers did there. Dunn hits his first. Wholesale changes here for the Cavs as Mitchell returns along with Mobley.
Number 45, Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan has gone for an efficient 11 points. He's grabbed 3 rebounds in this first half. What a run he is on.
Playing great basketball. Both ends of the floor. Just a remarkable young man. Wants to be successful and beyond the money and all that. He wants to win. It's not about the dollars. He wants to win. And it's just so refreshing to be around him.
Some of these performances, too, Brad, have just seemed effortless. Travers, not bashful, rebounded by Zubac. Win on Friday, Donovan went for 32 points. There's a steal by Travers. Travers and the Cavs have numbers. Mitchell, hey, knocks it down.
To your point, on cue, just what you were talking about. It is effortless at times. Prolific at scoring the basket.
32 points, 9 rebounds, 5 assists in that win over the Pacers. That's thrown away by Zubac. And it was one of those games where you don't leave and say, man, Donovan was terrific. I mean, he's been making the extraordinary look routine time and time again.
No doubt about it. I mean, it's 30 a night. It's so easily done. And I mean, think about it. He's had games where he's had 8 points at halftime and come back and just absolutely light it up. And he's done it several times. And so the thing about Donovan is, sometimes he can be a little streaky shooting the basketball, but he works his way out of it. And then when he's trying to be a facilitator, it takes a little bit more time. I say to heck with all that. Be you.
That was a gorgeous pass by DeAndre Hunter. Hunter with a seeing eye feed finds Mobley. Mobley dunks. The Cavalier lead is 50-42.
Yeah, Hunter made Zubac step toward him and threw a nice little bounce pass. Good basketball.
Dunn tried to draw a foul twice. Didn't get it either time. That second shot was altered by Mobley. Mitchell finds Mobley upstairs. Oh, my. And the Clippers need a timeout.
That's where Evan Mobley's best in transition. Throwing that ball to him. Nobody touching the ball except for Donovan. Up top, one pass, transition bucket.
Evan Mobley is getting it cranked up on the offensive end as Mobley and the Cavs have authored a 7-0 run.
In there with his glasses on, he's just sitting down right there. That is Jeff Van Gundy. And earlier today, I was watching him in warm-ups before the game. He's running around, he's rebounding balls, he's shooting, he's D'ing up. This is a basketball savant. This guy was a fantastic coach, a great basketball coach. He loves this game. He is having the time of his life being a part of this staff. And I'll guarantee you, they're not paying him a dime. He just loves basketball, and it's so good to see him in the gym because this guy's brilliant, and he needs to be around the game. And he just loves it that much. Love Coach Van Gundy.
He had some fun Knicks.
Oh, they were fun to play against.
Inside Madison Square Garden as Donovan Mitchell twirls and scores. Mitchell now has a game-high 16.
Great basketball coach, man. They're running around like a kid.
Batum. Rebounded by Darius Garland. The Cavaliers look to extend their largest lead. Garland spins around hard and finds Mobley. Off to Travers. Back to Hunter.
Boy, it's been a great play. Evan Mobley just go up and powerhouse that thing. Try to tear the goal down. It doesn't matter if you make it. You're going to probably get fouled because everybody had their back to you. Nice job by Garland. Penetration is just unbelievable. Darius is not 100%, but he is getting there quickly.
Harden had that pass pinball right back to him. Harden has a dozen points. He's 4 of 10 from the field. And the Cavaliers once again have an answer.
Nice job, Travers in transition. Seeing him make more and more of those shots.
How about Luke Travers, again fresh off a stint in the NBA G League. Kenny Atkinson been pushing the right buttons here early, and he's had to push a lot of them with players in and out of this lineup. Travers with a comfortable stroke from the corner.
Looks really good and been working extremely hard and going back and forth and playing in the G League and coming back up and giving us great minutes. And he's been so aggressive on that glass this year, Luke has, and has really earned himself an opportunity, and I think there's more coming. Continues to develop that offense, polish that offense a little bit. See this young man playing a lot for these Cavaliers.
Picked 56th overall back in 22 by the Cavs. We mentioned earlier in this ballgame already what a steal Tyrese Proctor already feels like.
Yep.
Selected in the second round in the most recent draft. Here's Garland, it's pass. I'm not sure that was intended for Mitchell or Mobley. It didn't get there as Harden slows, stutter steps, deals off to Batum. Batum takes almost exclusively threes. He'll stay out around that perimeter. Harden lobs for Zubac. Zubac in traffic, had it rejected by Mobley. Zubac gets it back and hooks it home.
Good job. The Cavs had a good opportunity. Had Zubac underneath that basket. You got to keep him there. Good block by Mobley. He couldn't come up with the rebound.
Zubac has a first half double-double as Donovan Mitchell right through everyone.
Batum just kind of got out of the way. He saw those big burly shoulders of Donovan Mitchell coming at him full steam. Made a business decision there, John.
Donovan is 8 of 11 from the field. 18 first half points. The Cavalier lead is 10 as Harden works on Garland, dumps off to Collins. Collins picks it off his shoe top. Can't hit the three. Dunn keeps it alive. Back to Batum.
Gotta force Harden to his right. I know it's hard. It's one of the best ever in this game to score the basketball, but you've got to force him right with all your might. I mean, I say just get on his left hand and just sit there, make him dribble with that right hand.
How'd you like that late blitz, Brad, as there's about 8 left on the shot clock. The Cavs came after Harden, worked it around the perimeter, and eventually forced the kick ball.
Yeah, I love that, love that. Cavaliers have picked it up a notch, and it came after the timeouts. Kenny Atkinson was able to get these guys in front of him and give them some direction, and these guys have followed it to a T, playing really well going into the half.
There's a 7-second difference between shot clock and game clock. There it is again, another late blitz. It's Dean Wade, same result. A kick ball as Kenny looks to keep the Clippers out of rhythm here late in this second quarter.
Don't mind that at all. You see that blitz there. That's going to make James Harden have to pass the basketball. That's what they're trying to do. They don't want him getting this last second shot because he can shoot from 40. Force him back to his right. There you go. Nice job.
Done.
That's fine. You can live with that. You can live with that.
And the first half is over. The Cavaliers trailed this ball game by 8 early. They'll take a 7-point lead, however, into the locker room.
Cavaliers played very well the last 5 minutes of this second quarter. Played Cavaliers brand of basketball, very aggressive, both ends of the floor. Like where we're at right now, got to be a little more aggressive on that defensive backboard, but good job thus far.
Ball security was at a premium in the second quarter. The Cavaliers turned it over only once. Luke Travers and the Cavalier bench really did a number on the Clipper reserves. Proctor 10, Tomlin 4, Travers 3, Nance 3, Wade 2. The Clippers were limited to just 6 points among all reserves in the first half, and now Serena is joined by one of those reserves, and Tyrese Proctor.
Tyrese, what did you like about how you guys played in that first half?
I think just that tempo. We know they're coming off a back-to-back, and I think just trying to keep our pace, play fast, and get in the paint as much as we can.
You provided a huge lift, a huge spark off the bench. What's been your mentality coming off the bench?
Yeah, just trying to impact winning as much as I can. Something I said the moment I got drafted here, defensively, offensively, just doing my job and bringing energy.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Coming up on the Ken Gan, the Kia halftime report, AC and Kaylee diving into those numbers. Brad's always got a breakdown, and you know I've got an assistant coach. All coming up right here on Fan.
Night presented by Rocket, as Serena is alongside assistant coach Trevor Hendry.
Thanks, John. Coach, what pace do you guys want to play out coming out of halftime here?
Yeah, we got to keep playing fast. They're on a second night of back-to-back. You know, we have the speed and athleticism to try to make this a track meet and try to see if they got the tired legs.
It looked like you threw some doubles on Harden there early. What should we expect defensively on him?
Yeah, I think with all the great players, him, Kawhi, you try to give them different looks. If they see the same look every time, you know they're going to start picking you apart. So we're trying to make them think a little more than they really want to, and hopefully it'll help us on the other end.
Appreciate you.
Got it.
Guys.
These teams start the second half the way they started the ball game as a Garland triple rims out. If you're just joining us, Kawhi Leonard returned to action after missing the last 10 games with an ankle injury. He had 12 first half points. Jalen Tyson, he'll pedal to the elbow, dump off to Hunter. Hunter loses Kawhi Leonard, lobs inside. Mobley's there, and Mobley dunks.
Yeah, and I think Coach is right. I mean, we got to get the pace up a little bit. I mean, you worry a little bit about the turnovers, but not enough, because this team has tired legs. Talking about the Clippers, put the pressure on them to have to respond to what you do, pushing the basketball. Then they're going to keep pounding it inside. Zubac, it's excellent with those jump hooks. He's going to be a force, but you've got to out-possession and outplay this basketball team, and that's very, very, I'm sure at halftime, Kenny went over and over, push, push, push.
The Clippers play at the second slowest pace in the NBA. They're near the end of a 7-game road trip. They played just last night in Charlotte as Harden's floater is good, as James Harden has cut the Cavalier lead to 61-58.
Cavs really doing a good job executing, but the Clippers are just kind of hanging around. Shots like that, kicking that ball weak side, wide open shots for the Cavs. We saw some of that at the end of the second quarter where we had wide open shots, just didn't make them. But that's a part of a good shot. You get good looks, good routine, good opportunity. We got enough shooters on this basketball team where we're going to make our share of those. So keep doing that. Keep picking them apart.
DeAndre Hunter buries his third three of the evening. James Harden still has yet to hit from three-point range. He's 0 for 6 here tonight. Mobley's open. Mobley fires.
Mobley did a good job. You see this nice little rub screen right there by Tyson. DeAndre Hunter's in the middle of the floor. Evan Mobley's got the interior position on Dunn. That was a good pass. James Harden didn't help. Evans right where he's supposed to be, right in front of that goal.
There's Mobley to rip it away from Kawhi Leonard. Hunter hit the ground hard after he was fouled by Kawhi.
Put his head on the back of that stanchion, too. Hope he's okay.
Take a listen to this.
Okay.
You heard crew chief Bill Kennedy saying, take your time. DeAndre makes his way to the line. Evan Mobley, by the way, has missed both of his three-point shots tonight, but he's a perfect 4 for 4 inside the arc. Show your pride, Cleveland, by shopping the Pride Collection as tonight's item of the game. A portion of the proceeds will benefit the Buckeye Flame. Check out the best selection of official Cavs merchandise, including jerseys, hats, tees, and more at Cavs.com/shop. DeAndre Hunter now has 14 points. He's given the Cavaliers the 66-58 advantage.
Yeah.
Tyson looking to continue to wear down James Harden. Go ahead, Chad.
No, you're right. Get on that left hand in a big way. Not shooting the ball very well tonight. Continue to make it difficult for Harden. Don't reach. Don't get caught.
Kawhi knew he missed it upon release. Here come the Cavs again. It's Garland who will push. Garland stops, finds Mobley. Hunter got it. Boy, tell you what, Brad, when Hunter has that high release, when it comes off his fingertips, it almost feels like it's going straight up.
Yeah.
The percentage of it hitting that shot goes up astronomically.
Boy, it does. It looks like it's going to bring some rain. He shoots that thing so high. But that's a good shot. We need more of him. He is such a good offensive player, DeAndre Hunter is. And he can really change the complexion of the game on the defensive end as well as offensively.
Harden still can't find the range from three. Mitchell snaps an outlet pass. Tyson on the receiving end. Gets it back and banks it in.
Nice hustle by Tyson. Good pass by Mitchell down court.
Jalen Tyson on the receiving end. Jalen's brother Jordan's a wide receiver at Arizona State. Yesterday, he had catches of 42 yards and 19 against Colorado. The Cavaliers have opened up their largest lead here early in the third. As we take a look at the live odds courtesy of FanDuel. These are third quarter odds only. The Cavs lead the quarter 12-6. If you want to play the Cavs in the spread at -5.5, you can do so at -128. Over-under is 60.5. Cavs plus over. You play a parlay at a +240. Cavs have scored the last 10 points. DeAndre Hunter has 8 of those 10. Cavs pick up full court. Again, if you're just joining us, the Clipper team played just yesterday. The Cavs have the scheduling advantage, so the Cavs want to wear down this Clipper team. It's the oldest team in the NBA at an average age of over 30. Kawhi Leonard, the 34-year-old, cans a triple and cuts the Cavs lead back to 10.
Yeah, a little bit more pressure on that perimeter on Kawhi Leonard. Make him take a tougher shot. DG was in the area, just a little bit slow getting to him.
Mitchell sizes up Collins and buries a three.
Well, that's a tough shot. Collins is a big defender. No match for Donovan Mitchell, though. That jump shot is just lethal.
Donovan has a cool 21 as the Cavaliers pick up a steal. Garland sips one through. He'll find Mitchell. Now to Tyson. Tyson out of the corner. Hunter to Mitchell. He's ready. Tyson got a hand on it, tipped it over to Mobley. That's a big-time hustle play by the youngster Tyson there. Mobley in the corner, deals to Hunter. Hunter tried to find a cutter in Garland. That was ill-advised and knocked away. Dunn lobs inside. There's Zubac back outside to Collins. Collins got run off the line by Hunter and got fouled.
Yeah, Donovan Mitchell does such a good job when you're trying to guard him. He creates a lot of separation. Watch this. I mean, that's just that jab step, and everyone goes for it because he's so explosive. If you don't, he goes by you. And it's like, again, it's similar to James Harden when he's on. He's got that jab step, and that dribble is so tight. As a defender, you're trying to give him as much room as you can so you can recover. And these guys Donovan just blasted right in your face.
Here's John Collins, who was acquired from Utah in July in the 3-team deal that sent Norman Powell from these Clippers to Miami. Now, it was reported that a big part of this acquisition was to allow Kawhi to move back to small forward from the power forward spot that he occupied last season. They're trying to fill in for all of Powell's points. Bradley Beal was acquired, however, just a handful of games in. Beal fractured his hip. He's done for the season, so that has left a big scoring hole in this Clipper lineup, particularly over the last 10 games with Leonard on the shelf.
Yeah, I hate to hear that for Bradley Beal. Let's all hope he gets better and is able to make a full recovery. Awful young guy to have a fractured hip like that. But hopefully, with the day's docs and medicine, he'll make a full recovery and be able to play again.
Harden gets past Hunter. His pass was tipped by Wade. It comes to Garland. Garland up ahead to Tyson. Tyson feeds back to Garland. Garland's wide open. Don't leave him there. Garland, however, cannot hit. Darius has struggled from the field. Leonard looks to work on Tyson. Tyson coaxed him into a long two. That was well done defensively by Jalen.
Yeah, when you're trying to attack in transition and play fast, you got to do it with good balance on the floor, so you don't end up taking an odd shot with no one rebounding. So Cavs get those rebounds or steals, everyone has to charge out of there like their hair's on fire and run into that offensive end so you can have some balance, create some opportunities.
Garland got a running start at Zubac. He lost the handle, however, mid-flight as here's Harden. Harden chugs into the forecourt and draws the foul.
If you get to that left hand, you're in trouble. You are just absolutely in trouble. No man's land. Been doing it a long time. He gets right here, boy. You just like to see Proctor's got to step over there. He can't reach your arms when James Harden's near you. You got to put your feet in front of him. You'll see that on the video. Kenny will break that down for him. Proctor's got to slide over there and get in front of that basketball.
James now in his 17th season can still be explosive. We saw 55 yesterday in Charlotte, but 1 week ago in Boston, the Clippers rallied late against the Celtics. James scored 32 of his 37 in the second half, including 9 in the final 21 seconds, only to fall to the Celtics by 3. Here's what James did from long range just yesterday in Carolina. as he hit 10 triples. He has yet to find that three-point range here this evening.
James Harden in his last 5 games is averaging 38 points. He will light you up. And he's off a little bit tonight, thank goodness, because it won't last for long.
Last season at the age of 35, as Naquan Tomlin coolly delivers with a 3. Harden at the age of 35 was named to his 11th All-Star game and his 8th All-NBA team.
Wow.
First in a couple of years, too. First All-Star game since 2022, first All-NBA team since 20, as Harden sends it inside to Zubac. He can do that, too, as Harden checked in 5th in the league in assists per game.
How about that shot by Tomlin? No one's going to guard him. They're going to step back and help off of Tomlin. He just drilled that 3. Love his confidence.
A Garland pass is tipped. In the 11 minutes that Naquan Tomlin has been on the floor, the Cavs have outscored the Clippers by 12.
He's been remarkable. He's done a great job, and got to keep him in the lineup. And DG made a nice move there. He had a wide open Proctor. That pass was just got away from just a hair.
Does he have another? Not that time. That's Proctor, or Tomlin, I beg your pardon. His first miss from the field. 5:15 to go here in the third. Harden this time works on Wade. Go to that left hand. Well, got tipped by Zubac a number of times. Man, Zubac has made a living doing exactly that. Zubac now has 18 points and 15 rebounds.
Yeah, he's relentless. He is relentless on that backboard.
Clippers foul number 1, James Harden.
That foul is on Harden. Talking about Zubac, it's interesting. Brooke Lopez, who was brought in to back up Zubac, they were teammates briefly with the Lakers. There's the reach by Zubac. Lopez said the growth of Zubac over the stretch in the last 6 seasons has been simply astonishing. He said this guy was just a raw banger. Now he's a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate, and he hits the glass so well as we have another whistle.
Yeah, his growth has been remarkable. I mean, of course, I love watching the big guys play, especially the guys who play fundamentally sound. And 5 years ago, he wasn't that. He was just a big body. He got better and better. Now, this guy, he is unbelievable on the glass, talking about Zubac, and he can score it, man. He gets you in that low post. You're going to get jump hooked to death. Smart basketball player. He has really made himself a heck of a center in this league. He'll be here a long time. Very effective.
Last season, Zubac averaged 17 a night. He had not averaged more than 12 a night any of his previous 8 seasons, and that is the kind of game he's developed on the offensive end. He has that touch now to go along with that size, and Kenny Atkinson needs a timeout.
Left hand, right hand jump hook. Can't stop him.
Cavalier fans, we want to give away
71. Have the Clippers. The Cavaliers lead this ball game 77-71. As talking about the Clippers, Chris Paul just yesterday announced that his 21st season would be his last. Take a look at the experience on this Clipper club. Paul, Harden, Kawhi, and Bradley Beal, seasons 21-17, 14-14, respectively.
Wow.
Wild.
That is a lot of experience. Man, these guys have all been just phenomenal professional basketball players to the highest degree, and have all had tremendous careers. Like I said, I hope Bradley Beal gets 100% recovery, and it's been fun to watch all of them play over the last 14 years.
And oh, by the way, they also have Brooke Lopez at 37, Nick Batum at 36. Wow. It's wild, this roster. An average age of over 30. Chris Paul, by the way, last season in San Antonio, became the first player in NBA history to appear in all 82 games in his 20th season or later.
Well, I just don't see how you can't play longer and later into your career. Nice strong rebound by Evan Mobley. I mean, with load management and as much time as these guys have to rest their bodies and recover, and with how smart, the team physicians and trainers and all these people are, all the modalities they have, you should be able to play for 15 years, 20 years. Because you're not playing, a guy like Chris Paul played 82 games. Most guys aren't playing 82 games. It doesn't happen anymore. That's why I was laughing. A lot of these guys are talking about trying, the schedule being too long. My argument is, okay, they shortened the schedule to 72 games. The guys are just going to play half of that. So longevity is key. You want to see guys play forever and maximize their potential.
Zubats, after grabbing his 16th rebound, got fouled by Naquan Tomlin as we pause for a word from Ken Ganley Kia.
Hey fans, while you're enjoying the game, go online to KenGanleyKia.com to get our lowest price. I want to see you in a Ken Ganley Kia.
Serena at the top of the telecast detailed the matchup with Ivica Zubats in the middle. Zubats last season had a 28.20 rebound game against the Cavs. He's up to 22 and 16 here this evening as Batum now has a pair of threes, and the Clippers have come all the way back and whittled that Cavalier lead down to 1. Proctor in traffic, blocked by Collins and out of bounds. The current Clipper run is 15-3.
Cavs got to just, like I say, defense. That's where you start. Don't be so interested in getting to the offensive end of the floor. Let that aggressive defense create opportunity.
Collins stepped in front of that inbounds pass and tipped it out of bounds.
And I think that's critical for the rest of the season. Get back to being an outstanding defensive team. We were one of the best in the league last year, a lot of times the best in the league. And that created so much offensive opportunity. We got to get back to that.
Cavs are ranked 8th in the NBA on the defensive end to go along with that top-ranked offense. Mitchell to the basket. He crept right around Dunn. He banks it up and in, and Donovan Mitchell has a chance for a big three-point play.
That's a great move by Donovan Mitchell. Tell you, the big thing about that Dunn is an outstanding defender. Donovan makes that quick crossover and uses, like, again, that strength. He's so strong. And he used the left hand. What a shot.
You said it. Dunn is considered one of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA. Last season, 4th in the NBA in steals, 8th in deflections. He gives his team a little snarl, doesn't he, around the perimeter?
He does. He's always been an outstanding defender and does a good job. And Donovan's just, he's no match for Donovan Mitchell.
Great story, too. He was almost out of the NBA, was done. A reclamation project by the Jazz a number of seasons ago. Resurrected his career, so nice to see for the young man at Dunn as Wade makes a big play. It's time for that defense to step it up, as you mentioned, Brad, as the Cavs force another turnover. Under 3 to go here in the third. Cavs by 4. Mitchell on the bounce, right through Collins, puts it high off the window. Just a brilliant, dazzling play by Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean, you know where he's going, and there's just nothing you can do about it. He gets to that right hand so strong, and he's going in there, and there's a lot of contact. Collins right there, look at that, that's all contact. Nice job, and he moves and displaces Collins pretty easily. What a strong move by Donovan Mitchell.
That is our Allison Jewelers Time to Get Engaged feature. Donovan Mitchell, for his last 3 seasons, had 71 30-point games. He has 9 already this season. He is 4 away from his 10th. And we are only on game number 18.
He has been outstanding all season long. He's come in, there's a mission as we get towards April that he wants to accomplish something he's never accomplished before. And he's put in the work, and he's made it known, and these guys need to all follow his lead.
It is game 18 for the Cavs, and it is game 16 for Donovan Mitchell, as Mitchell is on the precipice of 30-point game number 10.
Wow.
Dean Wade picks up the personal. 83-76 is the Cavalier lead. Been a fun one here tonight.
A good ball game.
A lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Martin, watched by Dean Wade, steps back. A lot of firepower on this floor, Brad. A lot of experience. As here's Mitchell, and boy, as Mitchell had that ball go off Kobe Sanders and out of bounds. A lot of talent in that number 45 right there.
Yeah, one of the best to ever do it. And really loves Cleveland. I mean, he's starting to bleed the maroon and gold. He's wine and gold. He loves this town. And he wants to bring a championship back to this city.
Mobley at the foul line finds Tomlin, who stepped on the sidelines, and the Cavaliers give it back.
Tell you what, the Clippers are just kind of hanging around, not playing their best basketball. The Cavs have made them struggle in many areas. And particularly James Harden just hadn't shot the ball very well. No one else has given them much offense, but they're still in it.
That ball's tipped back into the backcourt. Just a veteran way about them, if you will. No surprise as Harden got hooked and fouled. Donovan wants a challenge, but the Cavs have already used their challenge unsuccessfully, so they are out.
We got all basketball. That's
You see why Donovan wanted a challenge. So Harden will shoot free throws. He is no stranger to the line this season. James is shooting over 8.5 free throw attempts per ball game. That ranks him 6th right now in the NBA. See the numbers. He has not been his best night from the field. One evening after going for 55 in Charlotte, setting a Clippers franchise record in doing so.
A guy like this is dangerous, though, because if they can stay close, like I was saying about Kevin Durant the other night, yeah, he can miss 100 shots, but that last 5 minutes, this guy can make some massive shots. So Cavs need to keep turning that wick up a little bit and attacking, and then on that defensive end, it's just got to be a defensive front.
Mitchell zigzags his way inside. That floater doesn't go, and goes off the leg of Lopez and out of bounds. Previous misses do not matter to the likes of Harden, to the likes of Leonard, to the likes of Mitchell.
Nope, don't remember them at all. They make that one bucket and beat you. That's all they remember.
Lopez has that go up his size, 18 and out of bounds. 98 seconds to go here in the third. Mobley in toward Lopez. Picked up by Batum. Back it goes to Mitchell. Mitchell got Batum on a flyby. Finds a wide open Wade. Hey, knocks it down.
Well, that's great patience by the Cavaliers. Evan Mobley showed patience, made the appropriate pass to an open Mitchell for just a second, but he didn't force the shot. He let it develop, and that was a wide open pass to the weak side. Nice job by the Cavs.
Once again, the Cavs put some token full court pressure on James Harden. There you see the three-point shooting tonight. Cavs win the edge. Foul there is called on Mobley. Mobley, like Mitchell the last time down, does not like it. And here's that penetration by Mitchell, which draws a big crowd.
Yeah, you wouldn't have had a problem if he shot that three. He was open for just a second. But that was a smart play and got a better shot. Nice job.
Harden now from the line is a perfect 9 for 9. You can give the gift of Cavs basketball this holiday season. Choose from 5 and 10 game holiday hoops plans now available at Cavs.com/mini-plans. There's a lot of free money to be had at the line. We got him, didn't we?
Yeah.
It was a perfect 9 for 9.
Jinxed it. You did a great job. Nice job, John.
60 seconds to go. Mobley, Tomlin reverses and calls the foul.
I don't know how he did
entertainment.
that. Yeah.
This young man is pure entertainment.
I have no idea how he did that. I saw him go up, and I knew the guys were on top of him. But he almost made it. Good job by Tomlin. He goes up strong. Gets fouled, still almost makes it.
He almost Englished it right in, didn't he? This young man is a joy to be around. 3 of 4 from the field. 7 points. He's a +9 off that Cavalier bench. The Cavs reserves have gone for 28 points, outscoring the Clipper bench 28-9. Hutchinson likes it. His Cavs are on top, 87-79. Harden angles off a Lopez screen, 2 hops, one over to the 7-footer. Lopez shovels to Sanders. Lopez posts up a shorter Mitchell. Spins, flicks it up, missed it. Rebounded by Donovan. Brooks coming off the bench for the first time in his career as Mitchell throws on the brakes and throws up a 3.
Well, there's nothing you can do about that. Transition with a lot of time left on the clock. You're thinking he's going to pull up and wait on the cavalry to get there with him, and you step back because you're looking at all these guys running in transition, and he just shoots it. That's a backbreaker.
Donovan has 30 points for the 10th time already this season in his 16th game of the year. Harden got there, missed it. Collins can't follow. Shot clock off. Here's Mobley with plenty of time. Mobley ranges in, finds Tomlin. Back to Mitchell. Mitchell turns. Mitchell inside to Mobley. That was really close. Really close. They're going to count it for now. This will be reviewed. We're going to take a look. Mitchell off to Mobley. Was the ball off Mobley's fingertips? When the clock hit 0, Mobley with the dunk. Yes, sir. Count it. Cavs by 13. Donovan Mitchell has roared to 30 points as his Cavaliers are on top of the Clippers 92-79 as we open up play. Whoa, here in the fourth, it looked like Donovan stepped on that line. Jeff Van Gundy was right there, and he was really screaming at Jonathan Sterling as Chris Paul has the basketball. We'll set the lineup for you in a moment.
I got a good look at that. Let's play on.
Ball is picked up by Luke Travers, who gave Kenny Atkinson some good first half minutes. Kawhi Leonard puts it up, rejected by Mobley. Comes right to Batum, who misfires.
What about a great defensive play? Evan Mobley, who I thought is maybe the best weak side shot blocker I've seen in many, many years.
Oh, how did Mobley guide that in? What a breathtaking play by Evan Mobley.
Playing above the rim, Evan Mobley on both ends of the floor, starting with the defensive end, and when he does that, it ignites this basketball team.
Lopez, no. That is a snapshot of exactly what Evan Mobley can do and what he can be for this Cavalier team. Oh my, off the back of Nance, it comes to Travers. Travers kept it alive. Larry almost got an assist with his spine. Mitchell, got it! Mitchell has 5 triples and 33 points as Tyronn Lue and the Clippers need another timeout.
Well, Sanders has spun around there. Mobley's been incredible. Both ends of the floor. When he's on that defensive prowl, it starts everything. And it goes to the offensive end. It creates so much energy for this basketball team. Evan Mobley's playing above the rim, and so are the Cavaliers.
Brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. For all Toyota offers, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by SeatGeek, the official ticketing partner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. The night once again has belonged to Donovan Mitchell. Mitchell entered action 4th in the NBA and made 3s. He has 5 more this evening and has just passed Kyrie Irving for 5th place Cavs history in 3-point shots made.
And man, has been remarkable just scoring the ball in general, and then to making all those threes. Tell you what, he's one, like I say, one of the best to ever do it. It's fun to watch him play.
And by the way, he's played only a little over 3 seasons.
Oh, I know it, man.
Keeps moving up these lists. He just got here as it's a shot clock violation. Cavaliers have executed a 20-3 run as we check in with Serena.
Well, John, Kenny in that timeout said, look, this is not the time to let up. We've got to push the pedal down, take advantage of the lead, take advantage of their tired legs. Look for these guys to quick outlet and get to run.
Thanks, Serena. Donovan has a dozen of those 20 points in the midst of this 20-3 run. Travers. The Clippers had cut that Cavalier lead down to 77-76. The Cavs have since exploded. Kawhi gets fouled by Hunter. DeAndre picks up the personal. That's his 3rd.
You can see just the speed difference. The Clippers really slowing down, and so if you're the Cavaliers, continue to be aggressive. You don't want to put them on the free throw line. You don't want to stop the clock and give them a chance to shoot, but be aggressive with them, push them around, force them into turnovers, and keep charging to the front of that goal. Just don't think they can last.
Kawhi playing his first game back after missing 10. Zubac has been a force this evening. They wanted goaltending, they get it. So count the baskets for Zubac. He now has 24 points go along with 16 rebounds. That was pretty close. Was the ball on its downward flight?
Pretty tough to block a jump hook. It's pretty close, though.
Man, that's a tough call in real time. Mobley back to Mitchell. Mitchell fakes his three. Got run up the line by Paul. He'll put it upstairs for Mobley. Oh, my.
What a great two-man game between Mobley and Donovan Mitchell. Donovan's just drawing those guys. I mean, it's like flies to honey, you know. Somebody's going to be open and he finds it.
Hunter gets whistled for another tough luck foul. Donovan Mitchell has simply been firing on all cylinders all season long.
Yeah, he's played really, really well. And you know, he always, I mean, he's got a wide open three. And again, he's taking care of his teammates. Very unselfish player. Selfish at the right time, though, when we need him to be.
And if you're a defender, you have to go with Donovan. If you're Leonard and Zubac, you must go with Donovan or something really bad is going to happen.
100%. Even when you do what you're supposed to, it still ends up being a bucket by number 45. So you've got to give tremendous effort every time you're guarding this guy, and just keep your fingers crossed.
Kawhi Leonard was acquired back in the middle of the first round in 2011 by the Pacers. He was traded on draft day by the Pacers to the Spurs for George Hill, and that's when the legend of Kawhi Leonard began.
Yeah, it's been an odyssey for him. You know, well documented. Just hasn't played a whole lot of games. The games he's played, he's been very successful. So I don't know. I think they're trying to find the consistency there, and keep him healthy. Because when he plays, he's remarkable.
One of only 3 players in NBA history to win Finals MVP awards with 2 different teams.
Yeah, that type of talent.
Zubac draws a double, somehow got it through to the rookie Sanders. Sanders bursts out of the corner and floats it in.
Good defense by the Cavs. That was a tough pass by Zubac. Threw that thing along the baseline. Could have easily thrown it out of bounds.
Hunter got fouled by Sanders as Hunter looked to break baseline. Hunter saying, "I was shooting." Jonathan Sterling, our umpire, disagrees.
Hunter goes baseline here.
Clippers foul number 4, Kobe Sanders. His first, team's first. Cavaliers substitution.
Evan Mobley exits. So does Donovan Mitchell. Garland checks in. He'll join Nance, Hunter, Wade, and Travers. He's got to hurry here. He'll eventually lob it into Hunter. Hunter once again is leaned upon by Sanders. Hunter tries to use that size. Zubac grabs his 17th board. Plenty of time in this ball game as here comes Chris Paul. Lobs to Zubac. Zubac is down there with Travers. Paul again beats Zubac.
Zubac kicked that ball out, reset himself, got better position, got even deeper, and Paul did the savvy vet right back to him.
We have a timeout as the plot thickens. Cavs by a dozen with a little over 8 to go here in the fourth. Hey, Cavs fans, if you ever miss a live game, you can now catch up with game replays on the FanDuel Sports Network app. You can watch every highlight with your choice of a 5, 10, or 15-minute condensed game. Download the FanDuel Sports Network app. Tonight, plenty of highlights in this one so far this evening. 8:05 to go. The Cavaliers lead this ball game 99-87. Donovan Mitchell has gone for 33 points. He's 13 of 20 from the field. He's nailed 5 triples. He's dished out 6 assists, 8 rebounds. Another ho-hum night for number 45.
Yeah, he's done it all. Been fantastic. Both ends of the floor. Evan Mobley's been outstanding. Really on that defensive end and taking advantage of the offensive opportunities. Cavs have been pretty fluid this entire second half. See if they can continue to do so.
Leonard overplays. He almost had a steal right there. The shot clock winds to 4. Garland works on Sanders. Tough angle shot. Oh, my! There he is. Garland was running out of real estate. He threw it over the top of the corner of the backboard and drops it straight through.
That's old DG right there. We saw that a lot last year with big-time buckets in the last second. Had nowhere to go. Offense kind of ran out of options, and He just continues to break down Sanders, takes a tough shot, but sometimes talent outweighs everything.
You want to talk about confidence, Garland at that point was 1 for 7 from the field, and it did not matter a bit.
Keep drilling it.
Let's see if this unit can extend this Cavalier lead. Tyson took contact, and he banks it in.
Nice strong move by Tyson, going straight to the goal. Created a lot of contact, could have got a foul called on that.
Paul finds an avenue. That's Chris Paul's first shot.
A little bit of an overplay there on Chris Paul. Don't want to do that. He's not going to shoot over top, so you got to make sure you stay home or make him absolutely have to go around you.
2 points, 2 assists in 14 minutes in Chris Paul's final appearance here in Cleveland. He announced his retirement at the end of this season. Announced that just yesterday. 6.5 to go here in the fourth. Garland works on Paul. Comes off to Tyson. Tyson for 3. Hey, knocks it down. Jalen Tyson is coming alive here in the fourth.
That shot has become so reliable, John. Last year he wouldn't make any of those. And this year he's been remarkable making those shots when needed.
And there Tyson commits a good foul. He'll make Zubac earn it. I don't even know if Jalen Tyson takes these shots in the fourth quarter last year.
No way. No way. No way. Now he's making it. That's a big-time shot. Nice job.
Jalen Tyson in his second season shares a smile with Chris Paul. Chris Paul in his 21st season. Jalen Tyson in his second. 6:15 to go. Zubac has had another mammoth night. The man on the line now has 28 points and 17 boards.
He's had a monster game. He really has played really well, considering back-to-back, and he's kind of been the steadying force on this basketball team the entire night.
It's really been Zubac, not Harden, who's kept this team within relative striking distance. Garland twists for an opening over Sanders and gets the roll.
Nice job right there. He's got trapped there, and he was trying to make a little bounce pass. Defense collapsed on top. He did a good job keeping those pivot feet stuck and moving around that pivot foot.
Kawhi buries at 3. Darius Garland, by the way, was an NBA best plus 85 in clutch situations last year. The game was within 5 points in the final 5 minutes. This, of course, does not qualify as one of those times. Garland from deep. But Garland in the fourth quarter over the last couple of seasons has really started to amp up his game as Dean Wade gets fouled there, as Wade has made a number of nice subtle plays defensively the past week or so.
Yes, he has.
That have really impacted games down the stretch.
Oh, he has been remarkable like the past 5 games. He's done something that's changed the complexion of the game while he's been on the floor, whether it's a big rebound, good defensive stance, hit a big 3. So again, Dean's starting to come into his own. He's starting to find his rhythm, starting to find the gate to what Kenny Atkinson wants from him. So gotta be patient with all these guys, and Dean has played some good basketball for us.
It's really been an up and down season in big part because of the injuries. Dean's trying to find his place, period, when you're in full strength, let alone when you're in and out of the starting lineup, when your minutes are going up and down, when you're playing different positions. That pass went right between Nance and Tyson. It's a 14-point Cavalier lead. Zubac flips it up and in. He gets fouled by Tomlin, and Zubac uses that big size advantage, and he has a chance for 3.
Yeah, that's a big-time mismatch. Tomlin gets caught down there on this, boy. You got to get him some help pretty quick.
Cavalier substitutions, number 4, Evan Mobley, and number 12, DeAndre Hunter.
Kenny Atkinson opts to go back here to Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. DeAndre Hunter re-enters as well. Nance, Wade, and Tomlin all depart.
Yeah, Nance, Wade, and Tomlin. Good rotations, a good job. Held her on and helped advance the lead, played some good basketball.
We approach the 5-minute mark. Mobley off to Mitchell. Mitchell tries to run ball off a screen. Mitchell into the paint, batted by Mobley. Off a leg, out of bounds. Cavs ball. Zubac is barking at crew chief Bill Kennedy. Boy, a lot of Cavs attack that offensive glass.
Yeah, you got three
Collins
jerseys
in the foot last.
Yep, 3 Cavalier jerseys around there digging that ball out.
Mobley gets a running start at Zubac, got tripled. Collins fell into Kawhi. They bang knees. Hunter's three doesn't go. Mobley's there as both Leonard and Collins are slow to get to their feet, and both men are laboring here. Collins and Kawhi appear to smack knees. They certainly collided some friendly fire, and Kawhi's still shaking it off. Collins is hurt down here in the corner. You see it in the lower right-hand portion of your screen as Donovan volleyballed that into the seats.
Kawhi Leonard just kind of motioning, I'm done. Just walks off the court.
Oh, brother.
That hurts. That's painful.
Ugh. Again, if you're a Clipper fan, Kawhi having missed the last 10 games, boy, you always hold your breath. A lot of these guys getting to the end of their careers.
Yep, it's hard to recover. Hard to recover.
Zubac, that's tipped by Tyson. This is what the Cavs wanted to do. Kenny talked about it. We have the fresh legs. Trevor Henry talked about it at the break with Serena. We just want to roll our guys out here. Our younger guys put pressure. Whoa. As Tyson just toppled. As he and Harden were jockeying for position. Zubac off the ball. Zubac gets it back and dunks. 33 and 17 now for the big man. We were touting this guy as a potential Defensive Player of the Year candidate more recently, and he's putting up 33 and 17 on the offensive end.
Yeah, very well-defined offensive game Zubac has. I mean, he can score it with both hands. He's strong around the basket. And in today's game, there's just not many guys like him.
It's interesting when you compare that to what Tehran did with Isaiah Hartenstein when he had him in LA. He was playing him as a hub. As there's the skid and the foul. Ugh. Donovan appeared to catch that on the forearm or on the hand against the hardwood. But you think back to what Tehran did for Hartenstein's game. Hartenstein's a new center, a new feel after he was used as a hub by Tehran. And now you see Zubac just touching the ball a lot more. We detailed it earlier. Zubac scored 17 points a game a season ago. He never had 12 at any time in the previous 8 seasons of his career.
Yeah, you know, if you got a big guy who's big, strong guy, he's got good hands, good footwork, works really hard, you put him in that paint. I mean, today's game, everyone thinks all these guys have to shoot 55 threes to be a player. And it is more forward-facing, no doubt about it. But if you've got the skill set, you can absolutely dominate if you're a Zubac or an Alpern, Shagun, and those guys like that, because they're fundamentally sound, they're big and strong, and there's not many guys that can deal with it.
Meanwhile, Donovan Mitchell has been simply spectacular tonight. Consistent 18 points in the first half, 17 here in the second half. He is a game-high 35. Zubac spins, missed it, and he got it back in, not quite. Rebounded by Hunter, and Hunter secures it, and out come the Cavs with this 13-point lead. Mitchell now directs traffic. He's been masterful all night long. Hunter slashes, finds Mobley as Mobley loops it up and in. Timeout, LA.
Nice jump hook by Evan Mobley, going to the basket, slashing to the basket. Fantastic.
We'll step away as down the stretch we come. Cavaliers get the stop, and then on the offensive end, it's the ball movement that leads to this Mobley shoot. 3.5 to go. This is game 6 of a season-high 6-game homestand. With a win tonight, the Cavaliers will go 4-2. It began with a loss to the Toronto Raptors on the tail end of a back-to-back as the Cavs were in Miami the night before. The Cavs will have a chance to avenge that loss tomorrow. The Cavs this evening after the ball game travel to Toronto to take on the Raptors. The Raptors, if you're wondering, are playing tonight as well. They have a 102-100 lead on Brooklyn at home with 5.5 to go. So both teams will be playing the tail end of a back-to-back as Tyronn Lue, 3.5 to go, has emptied his bench. Again, this Clipper team is playing the tail end of a back-to-back. It is game 6 of a 7-game road trip. Donovan Mitchell continues to pour it on as he's given the Cavaliers this 116-99 lead. Just another dynamite night for Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, Donovan's been unbelievable all night long, carried this team offensively, and been very unselfish with the basketball, but got enough of his numbers to solidify the offense. He's done a good job of getting Evan Mobley the ball and keeping him very aware in the offense. So it's been a good night.
Cam Christie's shot doesn't go, and Kenny Atkinson wants a timeout, and now Kenny, with that game against the Raptors looming tomorrow, will do the same. He'll put some deeper reserves into the ball game. Job well done, Coach. These Cavs are poised to win their 12th game of the season.
Yeah, Cavs did a good job maintaining. Clippers put up a good fight for 3/4 of the basketball game. Give them credit. Ran out of gas, and the Cavs were able to continue to keep their foot on the gas like they should. This is a good basket. This is a good win for the Cavaliers. Played the way they should play down the stretch, and take a lot of positives into tomorrow night.
Speaking of tomorrow night,
oh man,
Toronto, a team that the Cavaliers swept a season ago, has won the first 2 meetings with the Cavaliers, both of which came here in Cleveland. What do you want to see tomorrow? It's an interesting Toronto team. Not many picked Toronto to be in contention this season, yet here they sit near the top of the NBA standings. They entered action 11-5 tonight in sole possession of second place here in the East in the early going.
Yeah, I mean, I thought that Scotty Barnes just absolutely took it to us here a few nights ago, and we got to go back and got to deal with him. And want to see Evan be aggressive on that defensive end. Same as tonight. Want to see Donovan just explode, put so much pressure on him that everyone else gets opportunity.
You bring up Scotty Barnes, you get a look at Donovan Mitchell. What a night he had this evening, 37 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. You harken back to when Scotty was alongside Pascal Siakam. When Scotty wasn't the #1 option, Scotty really seemed to excel. Siakam goes to the Pacers. Some years that Scotty might tell you weren't, I wouldn't say they weren't his best, but weren't certainly as good as what we saw alongside Siakam. Brandon Ingram goes to Toronto. Now Scotty's back in that familiar spot, and Barnes is having a big old season so far here in the early going as Thomas Bryant, fresh off the Cavalier bench, cans a 3, but that's what's in store for the Cavs tomorrow night in Toronto against the Raptors.
Yeah, we'll need a great defensive effort to have a chance tomorrow night against Toronto. They really charge hard. Transition's big for them. With Ingram, he's so long. Barnes, they play through him a lot. We're going to have to really have our game. We have to have a good game plan to go up there and have a good night and have some success.
Proctor for 3. There's Thomas Bryant. I can't quite get there. Yannick Conan Niederhauser, the rookie out of Penn State, grabbed the loose ball. That ball tipped out of bounds by Proctor. 1:39 to go. Cavs 119, Clippers 101.
Niederhauser's name goes from one hip all the way up to the top of his neck, down to the other hip on that jersey. Got to get him a nickname like that.
He was selected 30th overall in the most recent draft. Was Yannick. That triple is true. Kobe Brown with a 3.
Well, I think the Cavs played really well tonight. Good game, like I said, the first 3 quarters. But they played, been very consistent. Didn't let up at all. And first 5 minutes of the game was probably the course they played. From that point on, they've been very, very consistent.
Travers ahead to Bryant. Off the hand of Tomlin, it goes and out of bounds. There he is. Conan Niederhauser.
Yep.
Telfor. Good hit. Two-way player out of Butler. Jameel Telfor as inside as Cam Christie. And Christie gets fouled. Cam was the little brother of Max Christie over at the Mavericks, who last season was moved from the Lakers to Dallas with Anthony Davis as part of what likely will go down as one of the most famous or infamous trades
That's a tough
in NBA history, depending upon your point of view.
A lot of opinion on that.
You can join the Cavs for Kids Day, presented by Smucker's Uncrustables. That's next Sunday at 6. Bring out the whole family to watch the Cavs take on the Celtics right here at Rocket Arena and see Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and Jalen Tyson. Visit Cavs.com/tickets to secure your seats today. Max's little brother Cam splits the pair. Good win tonight, Brad.
Yeah.
Again, the Cavs had the scheduling advantage, but they take care of business against the veteran Clipper team that knows how to get it done. They got a boost from getting Kawhi Leonard back in the lineup as Tyrese Proctor gets fouled. Proctor came off Kenny's bench and scored 10 quick points in the first half and really provided the Cavaliers a lift as the Cavs took a lead that they would not relinquish.
Yeah, it's just been a complete ball game from the Cavs, and the thing I like is got a little bit back on track on that defensive end. That's where we've got to go back and revive our identity as being one of the best defensive teams in the league. And when we are that, we can play from the offensive end. We got enough firepower with Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland and all these guys, but defensively being dominant, critical.
30 seconds separate the Cavaliers. They're moving to 12-6 on the season. Sanders into the corner. Kobe Brown. Going in. Niederhauser couldn't quite get there as the shot clock is off. Once again, this fine crowd here inside Rocket Arena is treated to a good one. The Cavs move to 8-3 on this floor, in big part because of the play of that man, Donovan Mitchell. It's brilliant again this evening. 37 points to lead the way for the Cavaliers, which win it by the final of 120-105. Evan Mobley picks up another double-double, 18 points and 10 rebounds as the Cavs win this front end of a back-to-back, which will culminate tomorrow night in Toronto as we do it again. Stay right there. We'll be back to wrap things up right after this short break. Once again, your final, Cavs 120, Clippers 105.
Max One Music. music.